being part of Handyman Connection and having a home office team to support you is a tremendous value. And given my background from commercial banking and corporate banking, I worked with a lot of, or I worked with some business owners who were part of a franchise system. And they were part of big franchise systems, and there was a sense of you felt like a number a little bit in their system. Whereas what I've learned with Handyman Connection, your first name basis with the home office, and they're in it for your success as well. So never concerns about giving somebody a call, shooting a text. Maybe sometimes 10 o'clock at night is not the right way, but very responsive and knowledgeable, very smart about our business and about running a successful franchise.
I had virtually no technical skill coming into this. Like you said, I knew a little bit about painting. The support I got was great. I think it's important that somebody, if they don't naturally know how to do it, they seek out and learn how to build relationships with people who know what they aren't good at, who are good at what they aren't good at. And I think that that skill has helped me a lot. But if you don't have that skill, the beauty is especially when I came in, there was just a ton of direction and support. And I think they take that piece of the business very seriously. There's two things, right? There's training, and then there's growth and development. And I think they nailed both of them when I first came in. And I think they've only taken steps forward in that respect.
Home office is incredible. I have had the opportunity to work. A really good friend of mine who is also a female entrepreneur opened a franchise a little bit after I did. So we were kind of on this parallel path. And she and her home office were like, here. And she would ask me something and we were like, here. And she would show me her CRM and I would show her my CRM. And I'm like, well, how do you do hiring? She's like, I have no idea. I'm like, oh man, I got this plan I follow. And like, it just was really interesting to see it side by side. And she actually decided that she was going to close her franchise because she had picked the wrong franchise. And she actually now works for me, which is even better. But the home office, like you can't put a price tag on what they do. Like I had a really horrible thing happen in my family and they sent me flowers. Like I didn't expect that. The CEO, I got the opportunity just this week to work with him in my growth group, and I wasn't doing some things in my business that I needed to do. And he was tough, and he told me honestly what I needed to do to make this business work. And he knew that some of the things that he said to me were hard for me to hear, and he checked in to make sure I was okay. Like they really absolutely care. And when I looked at different franchises, one of the things that really drew me to Handyman Connection is that you're not a percentage point here. Like if you don't do well, everyone knows and they're there to help you. 2019 was a horrible year for us. We had some deaths in the Handyman Connection family. We had, just some bad things happen, and it impacted them because they care, and they went out and helped that franchise do this, and they went and did that to help that person. And, if I bring on a new person because my person left, like I'm on the phone with someone and they're on the phone with my new CSR for the whole week because that's what they need to do. So I can't say enough about them. And in the past year, they've done an excellent job of kind of upping their game with employees that still care, but even bring more to the table. And they really listen to you. They listen to what your concerns are in your franchise, and they come back with something to fix it. So recruiting is hard. Okay, here's a corporate recruiter. Being profitable is difficult, managing the P&L. Here's a new report that you can use in CRM. Here's a new way to plan your budget for the year. Like they hear you and they come back with a solution. And I don't know, that's anything that you would want from a home office.
I've been in business for 23 years, and I think that we've sort of developed a lot of tools and resources that we can use in helping other franchises, and we certainly are able to reach out to home office at any time and look for support or additional additional information whenever needed. So one call and you've always got somebody behind you to sort of answer questions or direct you somewhere where you need, you can find the answers. We work together as a team with home office and all the franchisees together to make sure that we're supporting each other so that we're all growing.
My experience so far has been good with everybody at Handyman Connection. When have called and asked for their help, they will always extend their arm and reach out to me and give me an answer. And if I don't quite feel like I understand it, or maybe didn't feel like I'm getting the right answer, I continue to ask, and they continue to work with me until I feel comfortable and they feel comfortable that we have a good understanding of what the answer to my question was, and that I can actually feel like, okay, this is a good, smart move for me to continue to work on or do. The one thing that I liked about Handyman Connection, they did have some structures that I was looking for. Mainly is they had systems in place, like, your CRM, what we call that, which is your program basically to continue to track your work orders, your workflows, and so on, which I like that. It was already there in system. The previous owners had been using it. And so then not only that they had those structures in place, but I was actually got some training that I needed to do. And I thought the training went pretty well. I was happy with the training that they provided for us to continue to use those systems in place. The other parts that I did like about that is, like I said, they have a good in my opinion, they have a great marketing system that we've been able to use and benefit from it too as well. So that we didn't have to come in and reinvent everything. Is, like I said, it's just you kind of focus on the daily task instead of focusing on becoming a marketing expert or becoming a developing CRM expert or anything like that. You just kind of focus on, like, hey, hire people, getting them to do their work, hire good quality craftsmen, and then focus on that, and then just kind of continue to learn the systems with the home office to be there as a support. Handyman Connection, home office, I've always been there too when I've always had any type of phone calls.
For me, I'm more in the office and like the CRM, and so I appreciate if I send an email to ask a question, it's respond back quickly to me and help me through the process if I'm not sure how to go about doing something in particular. They've always responded pretty darn quickly in that regard.
The support from the home office is immaculate. If I have a question and I send out an email or a text message, because I mean, most of them give us their personal cell phone numbers. I think I have everybody's personal cell phone number. And if it's something I need help with immediately, I could just hit them up. They answer me back quickly. I usually never wait more than an hour for a reply. Usually it's within about 10 or 15 minutes, and they're getting work on that. Whether it's a marketing tool, a craftsman tool, or even if it's something that I'm just like, I've had an off day and I'm like, hey, I need to talk to someone. I could reach out to the franchise, the home office team, and they're able to help guide me along. And everybody's a phone call away. If I have a question, I could send an email. And whether it's somebody from the main office, marketing, internet help, it doesn't matter what it is. They're just a phone call away, and I never have to wait on responses.
I call it corporate support is really, really good. I have an operations guy who I talk to pretty much weekly or even more often now, and I've been in business for a while now. So at the beginning, it was much more frequent. And marketing is very responsive, so when I have any questions, I just call them up, and if they're not available, they call me back very quickly. So in general, I'm very pleased with the support that the corporate provides. If I succeed, the corporate succeeds, and corporate realizes that, so they do everything possible for me to succeed, and altogether, we will win.
I think it's great to know that Handyman Connection, you could always reach out, and if they don't know the answer, they will find somebody that can help you, whether it's another franchisee or somebody from the home office or corporate office. And it's nice to be able to know that we have that support. We have established days and times that we meet with certain people, with marketing once a week, with Kevin once a week, and everybody else is an email or phone call away. When we first started our business, it was really nice to be able to have Kevin from corporate come down to our office physically and look through our office and give us advice on what to do depending on the situation that arose that day. And being able to practice that with him there and getting advice and feedback right away was, I think, essential to our success. I constantly have questions that I can send out an email and know that I'm going to have an answer soon. They do a great job responding quickly.
Yeah, any kind of question you have for them, they're right on top of it.
You will have a coach, a business coach, as part of your process, as part of your launch. And they have two different coaches. One starts in the beginning and takes you through the first initial sort of 6 months of your launch, and that's very intensive. You are working very closely with that coach. You will be on a first name basis. I consider my coach to be a personal friend of mine. And then after you move past that stage, you then move into the next stage where you get a different coach. And this coach is really working with you to try to drive your business to the next level. The first one is focused on launching, and the second one is really on how do you move forward. And you are assigned a second coach, and you work with him on a regular basis, not quite as regular as phase one, which makes sense because you're involved in running your own business. But if I ever reach out to my coach, he's back to me within minutes. They're very supportive. Marketing, IT, operations, they're all very supportive of what we're trying to do as a business owner. They know that our success is ultimately their success.
Aware of how much I would actually get. The first 3 months especially was very nice, and then we've had continued support throughout the first year, bi-weekly with the operations team to keep an eye on financials as well as how the operation is working with customer service. They're always open to a phone call or a text if you have an urgent issue, and they're usually on top of us to make sure that we're not missing our meetings and missing our deadlines on certain reports. With the home office, we have bi-weekly calls with our operations leader, and in between the calls is other task items that we are required to do to help keep them informed as well as help our business operate. They are very responsive in return to our communication with them, and they have higher level learning expertise that translate back to us and able to offer other franchisees that may have had a similar issue, so we can usually reach out to them if they know all the other franchises, so they're able to help pinpoint which ones to contact if we're having problems with something.